Hello, hi. Welcome back to A to Z of Consciousness. Hi everyone, thank you for joining in. Here's another episode of A to Z of Consciousness. We are at letter N today and we'll be talking about needs and necessities. I know I've taken a 2 week break. I was not in town, I was chilling, and I think chilling is so important in life. But I'm back here. So hi Deepika, thank you for joining in. Happy to have all of you here. Great, wonderful. So we are talking about needs and necessities, and it's a very basic, obvious thing, a need, a necessity. When I say these words, what shows up in your mind? What is your most important need that you must fulfill right now? What is that necessity in your life that you have to have fulfilled in this moment? What needs and necessities are you operating with in your life? Bring all of those energies in your mind as I talk about it. So, we are all controlled by our needs and necessities. They are as if psychologically binding us into their story, into the needs. So many of us, we need money. We need money to sustain our life. So many of us need good health to be able to move forward in life. Many of us need our relationships to be correct, our relationships to be joyful for us to go forward in life. So it is all about our needs and necessities, which act as a binding factor, as if they're controlling us, controlling our thoughts, and just not allowing us to step into a space of desires, greater desires. And that is exactly what I will be talking about today: how to stop being so limited by your needs and step into a space of desires. Now, let's start talking about the time when we were in school. We all learnt about the Maslow's need hierarchy, right? Wherein the entire theory suggests that we have different levels of needs. And only when we fulfill our basic physiological needs of food, shelter, clothing, can we then move on to the greater needs in life, needs of self esteem and needs of self actualization. And actually, if you see that chart again, if you go back to your books, if you Google it, the higher level needs are actually defined as desires, right? And that one theory has conditioned us, has programmed us to believe that there is actually a chronological order, and we must follow that chronological order. Only when our basic needs are fulfilled are we then allowed to ask for greater desires in life, have greater desires for ourselves, think about self actualization, think about self honoring, think about the greater joys in life. And that is the lie that I want to actually break today. That is one lie that we have been living with, that it is not possible for me to have greater desires in life when my basic needs are not fulfilled. It's a step by step process. How can you just say that get over your needs and start looking for the greater things that you desire? Now, I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis because of my work. I do personal healing sessions, and everyone comes with a desperate need. Okay, the need to take session, the need to take healing, the need to go for therapy comes out of a desperate necessity. And I mean, that's all right. I also chose that for myself many, many years ago. When I started to take counseling and therapy for myself, when I started to choose healing for myself, it came out of a space of a need. I needed to fix my life, I needed to fix my relationships, I needed to have more clarity about my subconscious, I needed to know why things were unfolding the way that they were. And I had so many questions that I needed answers for. And yes, my journey began with a need, but I am nowhere now stuck in needs anymore. And it's been a journey for me to be able to understand this, but I truly want to share with you today how to actually transform your life from only being stuck into needs, rather than just being confined by your needs and being limited by your needs, into a space of desiring, into a space of truly desiring the greater things in life without making your need a stepping stone. to go to the space of desires. There is no chronological order. There is no step 1, step 2, step 3. You do not have to fulfill your basic needs in order to desire greater. How many of us are living with that lie? I speak to so many people and they say that, you're talking about the greater desires in life, but I can't even sustain my basic livelihood. I can barely pay for my house rent. You're talking to me about changing the world. What are you even saying? So there is this irrelatable, we can't relate to desiring greater things if our needs are not fulfilled. And that is the pattern, that is the chain that I want to actually break today, because a lot of us have believed that it is not possible for me to desire greater things if I don't have my basic needs fulfilled. And everywhere you have all believed that lie. Everywhere we together have believed that lie, that no, I can't desire greater till my needs are not fulfilled. Can we please now destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So how did I get this clarity? I was attending a class with the founder, the co-creator of Access Consciousness a few years ago. And that class was this magnificent class wherein it was a group of about 400-500 people, and the entire class is all about people asking their personal questions and Dr. Dane giving you clarity and giving you clearings and changing your perspective about your life. And there were so many people who had such intense questions. There was this lady I remember who was talking about some issue with her body, that the doctor had suggested her surgery and there was no way that her body could heal. She had tried so many practices, so many healing modalities, so many medications. Nothing worked for her body and the surgery was very, very risky. So that was the question that she came with. I remember a couple, they came with their 4-year-old daughter who was absolutely unwell. That child could not digest even liquid, even soft food. And they were in such a bad state. They brought their daughter because they needed clarity for their daughter's health. They wanted to know how to make her health better. And I remember there was this another lady, she was an old lady, she was a grandmother, and she was talking about how her grandson was born with genetic defects. And you see the intensity of questions that were being spoken about in class. And another lady, she was a single mother, and she lost her husband at a very, very young age. She wanted to start afresh. She wanted to see what else is possible for her, and she came with that need and necessity to know what was available for her if she starts afresh. She wanted clarity. She needed clarity in all of those areas. I also asked my question, and my question was also driven by an intense need. My husband had met with an accident a few years ago, and he was still recovering, and I needed that togetherness, that bond in our relationship that we had lost. And so much had changed in my life after my husband's accident that I needed some stability. I needed my husband to be my support, and I needed so many other things for which I wanted clarity. Now you see, all of the questions that I just told you, all of the things that I told you, they are so intense. And when people were bringing up their questions together, I was getting so overwhelmed listening to their stories. And I was just thinking to myself that there is so much misery in this world. Look at the way people are suffering. Look at their needs. Somebody needs money to be able to save their house. Somebody needs good health for their children, their grandchildren. Somebody needs to work out their relationships. What is really going on? And there was this burden, this intensity, this heaviness, this trauma going on in my mind throughout when those questions were being asked. And then I got to ask my question on the last day of the class. It was a 3-day class, and I was so, throughout the class I was just trying to look for answers on relationships. I was just trying to look for answers that could fulfill my query in that moment, because I came with an intense need, and I felt so stagnant throughout the class. And then what happened? How did I get this awareness that I was being stuck? I was staying stuck in a question, in a need. There was these twin sisters who came to class. They also asked their question, but their question was not driven by a need. Their question did not have a necessity in place. Their question was more like an expression of gratitude. They were just so grateful for Dr. Dane, for the study, for access consciousness, and how it has changed their lives. And they came with a sense of desire. They said, we don't have a specific need in place, we just desire greater. We want to be greater versions of ourselves. We want to see what else is possible for us, how many more adventures, opportunities, possibilities are awaiting us. Just allow me to step into that zone. That is what their question was. And the moment I heard that question, my energy changed. I think the entire energy of the class changed because someone finally asked a question from a space of desire. There was this sense of ease, there was this sense of lightness, and I could instantly relate to that energy. And I said, wow, I want that wave of desire in my life. I don't want to be stuck to my need that, hey, look at me, I'm this victim who wants clarity in her life and clarity about her husband and her relationships. That was the turning point for me in that class. And that was a turning point for me in many other ways because now I look at life differently. I'm willing to know that a need is something which is just limiting my thoughts. A need is something which is just limiting my entire existence and not allowing me to see the things that I can truly desire. The entire job of a need, of a necessity, is to lock you up, is to keep you fixated in your story, is to keep you on that hamster wheel where you can never take a step forward. That is the job of need. It keeps you stuck, it keeps you stagnant. And in that class, I was stuck to my one question, waiting for my turn to come till the third day. And I was just stuck with that one need. Probably the other greater things that were being talked about in class, I did not even receive it to the full capacity. Do you know, the same way in our life, many things show up for us, many possibilities show up for us, but we are not willing to see that. We're not willing to receive that because we are stuck with one need that we have concluded that we must fulfill to be able to see greater things in life. That's a lie. We are living this lie. We are living in this illusion of being so single-sighted that, oh, it's my need that must be fulfilled and there is nothing else available for me. Really ask yourself, is there really nothing else available for you beyond that need? I realized in that moment that there was so much of consciousness, awareness, so much of magic, miracles, possibilities, so many wonderful conversations that have been happening for the last 2 days that I have not put my thought to, that I have not allowed myself to receive. Why? Because I was stuck on my question that, hey, I've come for this class and I'm away from home, I'm away from my child, I must get this answer sorted. Otherwise, what's the worth of this class anyway? I was with that intensity of needing answers. How many times are you doing that in your life? How many amazing opportunities, possibilities, magic and mysteries are you rejecting, are you being blind to, just because you have a specific need in place that keeps you so single-sighted that you can't see anything else? Are you doing that with yourself? Think about all of the needs that you have in the moment that are keeping you so limited, so contracted in your life. Now, your needs, they block your infinite receiving. I could have received probably so much more from that class. I could have gotten clarity on so many other questions. I could have gotten awarenesses about so many greater things in life, but no, I was stuck to my need. I had to get the answer only to my one question. But lucky for me, I had the recording of the entire 3 days. And when I actually realized that I was being so limited with my one question, I went back home and I got the recordings and I started listening to the class again. I opened my notes again and I actually received awarenesses out of that class that I did not receive sitting in that moment, trying to, being in that assumption that I'm so attentively listening to Dr. Dane. No, my alert mind was there, but my awareness was shut because I was happily rejecting everything, anything and everything that was not connected to my need being fulfilled. And everywhere you are doing that to yourself, can we please now destroy and uncreate all of that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. Your unfulfilled needs are the greatest eliminator of possibilities. That is the problem with the need. They eliminate possibilities, they make you blind to possibilities. They do not give you the permission to desire greater. They keep you finite, they keep you stuck, and they keep you locked. Now, thanks to those amazing twin sisters who brought that question up, who changed the entire energy, the entire feel of the class, and who gave me that beautiful awareness that, hey, I'm not here only for one little question. I'm not here only for need. I'm here for greater. I'm here for greater desires. And to be honest, my life has become so much more joyful after that class. So many things have changed for me in so many other ways. I am um so happy to tell you that I'm working every day, meeting clients every day, doing more classes every day, being a change for my own life, being a change in the life of others. And it's been such a beautiful journey because I dropped my need. I dropped my need of having answers just to that one question. Are you willing to drop that need too? And I know your needs may be very real, very intense, very big. And I'm not negating the existence of your needs. No way am I telling you that, oh, your needs are not valuable and they're silly needs and, oh, get over it. No. I connect with all of you. I am willing to accept and honor all of the needs that you have. I am not negating the existence of that. However, I'm willing to also give you that little possibility that there is something beyond that need. Would you like to see that? Would you like to step into a zone of desires now rather than being stuck into that little space of your need? That's the only thing that I want to talk to you about today in the talk of A to Z of consciousness, because operating from needs is not consciousness. Operating from needs is the most finite way of existing. It will just keep you stuck in that one little space. And now I know that you've understood the concept of needs and necessities, and how they keep our life limited, and how they bind us. But now I want to also give you the way out. I want to give you a solution, because I know you are here for your solutions. And like someone says, the need energy is dense. Yes, the need energy is like is it's something which is disguised. Actually, a need is a lie, and it is disguising itself as the most intense thing that exists for you. Like right now, there could be somebody who needs to get their health fixed, and without their greatest health they cannot operate in life. That's their need, and they have decided that only when I get super duper healthy, then can I desire the greater things in life. That is to travel, that is to create lots of money. And yes, your health is important. I am not negating that. But can we now just allow that one need to not limit us? And I want to give you the way out. So let's do this little joyful exercise together. Now, all of you who are listening to this, can you just connect and be present with all of your needs in the moment? What is it that you truly need? Is it lots of money to be able to sustain your life, to be able to marry your daughter, to be able to educate this person, and whatever it is that is coming in your mind, to be able to sustain and carry forward your business, to be able to buy a new house? What is your need? Your need of money, think about that. Your need of maintaining good relationships, maybe with your children, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your colleagues or your friends. Think of all of those needs. Think of the needs of having a good body. Think of all of the needs that you have in order to keep your body healthy, in order to keep yourself alive. Think of all of those needs. Connect with that. Let all the energy of those needs come into your space in this moment. Once you've done that, the next step is to acknowledge. Can you please acknowledge in this one moment that all of those needs, no matter how real, no matter how significant, no matter how intense they feel, they're actually just lies? Can you do that for yourself in this moment? Can you just, even if you don't believe that to be true, can you just do that just for yourself in this moment? Let's do it as a play. You don't have to um, give it too much of significance. Just acknowledge in that moment that no matter how real your needs and necessities feel, they're actually just lies. They are just disguised as the most real thing, but they're not actually very real. Can you do that? Can you do that for yourself? And now ask, if I was truly, truly an infinite being, would I still have these needs? Does an infinite being ever have needs, or does an infinite being have desires? So can you allow yourself to know that you're an infinite being? The job of a need is to make you finite, is to keep you contracted, is to keep you limited, is to keep you diminished. A need makes you the most diminished form of yourself. Were you truly born only to be the most diminished form of yourself? No. You were born to be the greatest, most infinite existence of you. So, can you just allow yourself to know and to remember that, hey, I'm an infinite being? I'm truly an infinite being. And okay, now if any of you are wondering what the hell is an infinite being, okay, so let's just do another exercise which we do a lot in classes. So if you're sitting and listening to this, I would like you to just close your eyes. Obviously, if you're not driving and if you're not cooking or doing anything else, if the situation allows, close your eyes. And I would like to I would like to give you a taste of what infinite being feels like. So close your eyes and be connected to all the elements in your room, whichever room you are in, or your office, or whichever place you're in. Be present of all of the walls, all of the furniture around you. And now just expand yourself in all directions. Start getting the sense of the house or the office or the building that you're in. Start expanding to that much space, and now go further out. Now start sensing your entire locality, your entire city or town, and keep expanding as large as the size of your entire country. Keep expanding in all directions, in directions 360 degrees of you. And now expand yourself greater than planet Earth. Keep expanding yourself, and now you can see the planet Earth from a distance. Try to visualize the energies, the planets of the universe, everything that you see as a part of the universe. Keep expanding to that much space. Keep expanding as much as you can, and get a sense of being infinite in this moment. And now, from that space of infinity, from that space of being the mirror image of the universe, look at your need. Look at your need. Does your need still feel that, does it still feel that real, that intense, that's significant to you? This is the energy of being infinite. When you're so large that your needs start looking so insignificant and unreal and petty. So, whenever you feel that you're being very, very consumed by a need and there is nothing that you can see beyond a need, kindly do this expansion exercise and try to sense the infinity of you. Please remember that you are the drop and the ocean too. You are the drop and the ocean too. We are the universe. We are all walking, talking mirror images of the universe. We are the universe. Never let yourself forget that. And every time you do forget that, here's a beautiful exercise that I shared with you called the expansion exercise. Please do that every now and then. And try it out. And if you can't really visualize it in one go, it's really cool. I took a lot of time, a lot of practices to be able to feel that expanded. It's a form of a meditation. Even meditation allows you to get out of your contracted thoughts and allow you to feel greater than your body, greater than just that finite body that you are locked in. You're really not that tiny, you're not that finite, you're quite expanded rather. So do this expansion exercise. So that was the level 3. The number 1 way to get out of your needs is to be present with your needs. Number 2, please start letting yourself know that your need is a lie, no matter how real and true and intense it feels. And number 3, do the expansion exercise and remind yourself of how infinite you truly are. And someone says that I'm feeling better. I'm so glad that you're feeling better. The entire objective of having such conversations is to allow you to know that you are the greatest version of you. You're not that finite. And I'm glad that we had this little conversation of the expansion exercise today, which I do a lot of times, which we do in every class. Because, and I do it sometimes in my healing sessions also, because I meet people and they obviously come with an intense need, with a significant necessity that they want clarity on. And before I get into that, before I get into the story, I do truly make them the expanded versions of themselves, so that they don't feel contracted anymore. And suddenly, while we're talking, we don't even come to that need, we don't even talk about that need, because that need has become so insignificant already. We suddenly start talking about the greater things, we suddenly start talking about possibilities that they never thought were available. And that is the magic, that is the miracle of just allowing yourself to be that expanded version of you at all times. When you start feeling expanded, when you start believing that your need is actually an insignificant thing, it's a lie, then ask your question. Ask this beautiful question from that space of infinity: what desires can I have that can replace all of my needs? What desires can I have that can replace all of my needs? I remember asking myself that question in class, when I got out of that space of needs, and I said, oh my god, I want to be that crazy person who desires greatness at all times. And I kept asking my question, I kept asking this, that hey, what desires can I have in this moment of my life, of my existence, that replace all of my needs? And I kept asking that, and with that question, I'm still getting goosebumps. Every time you ask that question, you feel a sense of freedom. You're actually letting yourself go free from the jail of your needs. So ask this question: what desires can I have that will replace all of my needs? When you do that, you are stepping into a space of infinite possibilities that are available to you. And now ask another question: what infinite possibilities are available for me that I can desire now? What infinite possibilities are available for me that I can desire in this moment? Please allow yourself to go free, go wild while asking these questions. Bring to your space everything that you have truly desired, and please start making a list of everything that you desire, which is actually beyond your space of need. Don't talk about, oh, I need to go to this college or I need to get this job. Go beyond those needs and make a list of everything that you desire. And when you start making that list, so I have a list of 155 things. Okay, and why 155? Because that's a big number. To be able to desire 155 things is a lot. You somewhere stop while making your list, because you feel, okay, I probably, that's all, I don't have any more desires. But that's a lie. When you start allowing yourself to desire, you will see that you can actually desire infinite things. You can really desire so much, so much, and you'd be actually amazed at yourself, at your capacity to think, at your capacity to truly desire. And then your needs will sound so diminished, so weak, so limited. And someone says, can you repeat the question? So the question is, what desires can replace my needs? And the other question is, what infinite possibilities are available that I can desire right away? What infinite possibilities are available that I can desire? So this is how you get out of the loops of your need. It's a 5-step process of acknowledging that your needs are actually lies, allowing yourself to know that you're absolutely infinite, and asking all of these questions that can really shift your entire reality around. Your point of view creates your reality. If your point of view is so stuck that I must have my need fulfilled in order to desire greater, you'll stay stuck there. When you're operating from needs, universe will give you more and more needs that you have to fulfill. Please remember that universe operates with energetics. If you need money, universe will always create that need of money in your life. What if you drop that need and just say, hey, I desire greatness, or hey, I desire this, whatever it is that you desire. And it will start showing up for you, because you've now finally stepped out of the need, that intensity, which is actually just a lie. And this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I know such information is difficult to absorb, and there is never any pressure from my side. And don't pressurize yourself that you have to start absorbing this information in totality in one go. Give yourself some space, give yourself a breather, listen to, I will be definitely uploading this video later, and you can listen to it a million times if you want. And I do that too. I invest a lot of time in listening to all of these discussions, to all of these talks, into the recordings of my classes, into anything that I feel is bringing forth some change. And whenever I'm reading these Access Consciousness books, and any other book for that matter, I read them very slowly. I read them literally at 2 pages or 3 pages in the entire day, and I just work on that. I just allow that note, whatever that I read, to sink in, so I can literally implement it in my life. Because the study of consciousness is this huge information resource. It's this ocean of knowledge, and if I just consume all of that together, I may get overwhelmed, and I may just entirely drop the idea that, hey, this is too much for me to do. So don't overwhelm yourself. Do it at your own pace. Do it one day at a time. Do it one bit of information at a time, and start creating change. Start doing the action. Just listening to this and not doing the required action, the conscious action, will keep you stuck. So don't stay stuck. Take the required action in the moment and see what changes for you. And someone says, I require peace. Why? Okay, that's great. Can you please now replace that with, hey, I desire ease. I desire ease. I desire ease in whatever I do. I desire ease in earning money. What if making money was easy? What if bringing up kids was easy? What if having to maintain all of your difficult relationships was actually easy? So let's start asking for ease. I desire ease. Even when you're going for a very, very difficult task a particular day, for example, you have a very important meeting, and you know that meeting is going to be heavy on you, and it's a lot of hard work. Please keep saying, how can I have ease with this? I desire ease. I desire peace. So whatever you want to say, just add desire to it, and just keep throwing that out in the universe. And someone brings up a beautiful it's a question. It's an Access Consciousness clearing, very beautifully put, which says, universe, what desires you have for me? Well, the universe will desire to give you what you desire to have. So say, I desire all of the greatest adventures. Like, that's my way of inviting possibilities in my life, that I'm always desiring adventures. Now I have realized that I don't want a life which is monotonous, which is rhythmic, which is just how it was yesterday. I'm desiring adventure in my life. So that's my desire. We can all desire different things. So keep saying, hey, I want desires. Hey, I desire adventures, or hey, I desire greatnesses. I desire to be a greater version of myself. And if you're having trouble with your relationships, I desire a greater version of my relationships today. And if you're having trouble with your business, I desire a greater version of my business today. I desire a greater version of my financial reality today. Can you just replace the word need with desire? Can you just do that and start with that bit of an exercise, and see what shift that creates? Alright, so thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, DM me. Sorry about my throat. It was lovely having a conversation with all of you, and I will definitely be reposting this video, and you can watch it later. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.